Radio Whiskey Bravo, call in CQ, any station, anywhere. The Kilo India 7, again, please. Well, I'm going to try, old man, to try to pull you out there. I just had a static crash about the same time that you gave back your call. I've got Kilo India 7, question mark. Go ahead. I got Kilo India 7, November Oscar Bravo. Is that a Roger? Okay, Carl, thanks for giving us a call. The name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee. We are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead. Yeah, Roger, I copy the QTH, Carl, up in northern Idaho. Well, you're just above my noise there. We just started to make a call, and thank you for coming back to it. And I'll give you a signal report next go-around so we can put it in the log. Go ahead. Okay, I copied the 5 and 9. I've got you down at 5 and 7, Carl. 5 and 7. We got a little noise on my end, and there seems to be a little static crashes out there as well. We wanted to give it a go and see how 40 meters was going to work tonight. We're also live on YouTube right now, Carl. So if you're interested in listening to the playback, you can go to YouTube, put in my call sign, and look for the one with today's date there. Roger. Yeah, I sure can, Carl. The call is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, red, white, and blue. Go ahead. Roger, Roger. That's correct, Carl. You've got it there. Hopefully you've got a little bit better weather than we've got here. Like I said, static crashes, it's dropped about 15 degrees compared to yesterday. We did have a little sunshine, but at least I think we're out of the snow there. Go ahead. Well, I'll tell you, Carl, one of these days it's going to have to break for everybody, I think. The way it keeps rotating, I think at some point it's just going to have to give it up and start giving us some summertime here eventually. So we'll keep our fingers crossed when that happens. But, hey, listen, thanks for giving us a call. Apologize for not being able to pull it out there in the beginning, but we got you down there, and we've got you in the log. And I did not see a contact, so thank you very much for the first one. We try to get out here between 20 meters and 40 meters each afternoon or evening. So if you hear us again, give us a call, and we'll pick it up where we left off. Hope we'll have better conditions between the two of us, but it was still a nice trip into Idaho, showing 1,216 miles, so that's pretty good. Hey, 7-3s, be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your week, and look for you again, Carl. Kilo India 7, November Oscar Bravo. Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s. Roger, Roger. Take care. QRZ, K0RWB, any stations anywhere.
Whiskey 4 Tango Sierra Hotel.
Oh, Bobby, I didn't think I'd be able to get to you tonight. Well, you sound pretty good. How are you doing there, partner?
Yeah, I'm not sure the band's in good enough shape right now there, my friend. I don't know. We're going to stand by and maybe see what it does there, okay?
Well, you're 5'9" plus in my receive. Am I not getting out to you?
I got a little K0R Nancy in there, Randy.
Yeah, I've got a few crashes from time to time here. I didn't think we'd have that problem, but it seems as though it has come back around again. But that's all right. You want to take a standby? I saw you on the chat there, so I wanted to try to get back to you, but you beat me to the punch there. Go ahead.
Yeah, you picking up as time goes. You picking up. Your signal's coming up. You're about a 5'8", and you're getting above the noise there now. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess it just takes me a little bit to get warmed up there. We've been off of the out in front of the microphone for the last couple of days and over the weekend, so I feel like I'm starting fresh again there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was having to turn this power down on this thing a little bit. It's about getting out of hand. I hadn't talked on it in a while. I heard that, buddy. Okay, I heard some more stations trying to get back to you if you still copy me. I'll let you go, my friend. Good to catch you. It's been a few days, and we'll talk to you later. This is Whiskey 4 Tango Sierra Hotel 73.
Okay, Bobby. Nice to hear you again, as always. Always had a chance to work you. I hope one of these nights we'll get some really good conditions so we can have a little QSO off the air, so to speak. But always a pleasure. And I know that call pretty easy now. So I just had a feeling that Tango Sierra Hotel is pretty easy to remember now. Hey, 7-3s, and look for us again. Always a pleasure, my friend. Whiskey 4, Tango Sierra Hotel, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3s, Bobby. And QRZ, K0RWB, any stations anywhere.
November 4, Tango Delta Papa.
November 4, Tango Delta Papa. Troy, how are you this evening?
Great. I was surprised that I couldn't do that. I'm more tonight. I love all my partners down there up there in Daytona Beach. It's always good. And work out.
Well, I tell you, Troy, I've had better copies, but I have a feeling that as the night goes on, I have a feeling the conditions will get a little better. We waited as long as we could, where we thought maybe we could get some time in. So we started about 7:15 Central Time. It's probably still a little early between me and you. Another hour from now could probably bounce up quite a bit, but we wanted to give it a go, but we did get you into that time, Merger.
Well, that's awesome. YouTube channel on and saw that you were working.
Yeah, it sounds great, Troy. Yeah, it's kind of cool to kind of sit in the background and have the audio on. And another one I found that works out pretty well is the SDR cluster up in Utah, the Utah SDR. Same way, you can actually dial in the frequencies, and depending on how it's hitting out there in Utah is how what kind of signal you get and what it sounds like on the receive side. But at least there's a couple of options. But hey, thanks for giving us a call. It was It's been, we talked on the 1st. Haven't talked since that time, so we're glad you had a chance to give us a shout, and I'm glad we got a chance to work you. I appreciate it very much, and look for you again as well, which I'm sure shouldn't be too soon. Have a great evening, Troy, and thank you so much. November 4, Tango Delta Papa, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
7-3, Randy.
WAQ VNI.
The VNI again?
1 second, please. Stand by, please.
Hey, you called me.
Whiskey Alpha 6 November. His name is Mike. World Radio here, Robert.
Is it Whiskey Alpha 2 or 4?
Whiskey.
You're cutting out either the mic or something. Though you lost the connection.
WA2 Victor November.
Okay, we're getting close. I got Whiskey Alpha 2 Victor question mark.
Victor November 8 running 25 watts. Over.
I love the 25 watts, but I'm not getting the whole call at the same time. I'm trying like heck, but I just can't get it pulled.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Victor November India. Whiskey Alpha 2, Victor November India. Over.
Oh, by golly, I got you that time. I guess I got more noise on my end than I care to listen to, but we wanted to give it a go anyway. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. Again, the name here is Randy, and the QTH. We are 25 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Michael, you sound pretty good on 25 watts here. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Can you get the signal report? You're 5 by 9. Over.
I copy the 5 and 9, and you're about 5 and 7. 5 and 7 when the band quiets down a little bit. Again, I don't know if it's something in the audio or the transmit button or something, but when you're keyed, it's a good signal. But there, in the beginning, your audio just kind of cut out on me a little bit.
Okay, Roger. Is that better? Over?
Now you're driving it too hard now.
Okay, back to
Now find me somewhere right in between. Find me someplace right in between.
Roger, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there, but again, it's acting like a dirty mic contact because it gets kind of fuzzy right at the end of your syllable. Otherwise, it sounds great.
Oh, I think I found the problem. Okay, did we fix it now?
Yeah, you sound real good now, Michael. Perfect. 5, 7, 5, and 8.
Sorry about that. I had the delay and the noise gate. I had the noise gate on, Roger.
Hey, not a problem, man. I'm here for a while. We'll get it figured out. Hey, no problem at all. Glad to try to help if I could there. Hey, apologize for not being able to grab the call. It's just between the noise on my end and what you were doing, I just couldn't get it all. But we've got you that time, and we'll get you in the log as well. I've got, like I said, 5 and 7 and 5, 8. I think you said 5 and 9. Again, name is Randy. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. And we're also live on YouTube tonight there. Go ahead.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Okay. All right, Randy, very good. And how much power and what kind of antenna are you running there, Robert?
Yeah, just a 40-meter dipole on the side of the tower, about 38 foot, in a really weird-looking configuration, but it's working. The rig's a Yaesu FTDX10 with the Heil PR 781. And the amp is a ACOM 1000 running about 750 to 800 on peaks. Roger?
Okay, Roger. We're just running an inverted V up at 30 feet, so we're not doing too bad. 25 watts there, Roger.
Oh, it's doing really well for 25 watts. I thought maybe you'd have a 4-square or something the way you're coming in here.
Oh, I wish. And we're at what, 7202?
I'm at 7202. You could be a tad bit high. I've got somebody on the chat who thinks you might be a little high as well. You can try to adjust it, but I mean, I'm certainly able to understand you. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much for all your help. 73, have a great night.
Hey, same to you, Michael, and thanks for giving us a call, and we appreciate it. And if you hear us out again, give us a call back, and we'll see what's on your mind that night as well. 7-3s, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe and be well. Whiskey Alpha 2, Victor November India, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3s.
Hi, Randy. 73,
Roger. K0RWB, K0RWB, any stations anywhere.
Kilo Delta 8, Romeo Hotel Bravo.
Kilo Delta 8, Romeo Hotel Bravo. Brett, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, Randy. I'm watching you on YouTube right now, and just thought I would see how it's working out. I got you 5-9 plus here in Battle Creek, Michigan this evening. QSL?
Hey, Roger. Well, how about 10 over? It's what's shown in my receive, but if you're watching it, you'll see there in just a second. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for checking out the live stream. We'll certainly have some fun with it. And I'm surprised with a signal like that we have not had a contact, so it must be just timing on my part. I don't see one in there now, but thanks for giving us a call tonight. And, yeah, so hopefully we've got everything working technology-wise, and the live stream has not given us any bumps like it has in the past. And it looks as though everything is working like it should there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Yeah, actually, that last transmission, you hit 20 over a couple of times, so coming in here well. I just have I'm running a Kenwood TS440S. I'm running it barefoot into an Alpha Delta dipole at about 35 feet at the apex with the 80-meter traps, and I'm running it through an MFJ Deluxe Versa Tuner 2, and it does a good job for me. QSL?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I'm doing a terrific job. You started at 20 over and it kind of came back down to 10, so we've got a good pipeline, and I think the equipment is working quite well. Again, I kind of wonder sometimes, Brett, why my electric bill is so high. I try to run a little power when the guys are running barefoot or no power, low power, doing just as well. But it does make for a pretty boring live stream if you're not able to make contact because you can't get out, though, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I get it. Yeah, I like how you got that set up here on YouTube. I got like a 3-monitor set up here in the shack, and I'm watching you on the left one. I got my QRZ log in the middle, so yeah, it's pretty neat. So, all right, I'll let you get out there and see if you can get some more QSOs, and I'll probably sit back and watch for a few minutes. So, hope to talk to you again soon. This is Kilo Delta 8, Romeo Hotel Bravo.
Okay, Brett. Well, you know how to get back on the playback, of course. And it doesn't have a counter on yours, but it does on mine. So if you wanted to fast forward to about 13 minutes in, if you want to come back and listen to the playback, you know what? The thing is really good. That 440 is doing a nice job for you. I can hear a little bit of TV in the background on your mic sensitivity, but otherwise nice and clear and probably, well, it is by far the best signal I've had tonight. So we've definitely got a nice pipeline. But, hey, I appreciate it. And thank you for your support, and hope you're enjoying it. And hopefully get a chance to work again real soon. We're going to spend a little more time here on 40. It's really been really nice in the evenings and having some nice contacts. Brett, be safe and be well. Enjoy your week, and I'll look for you again. Kilo Delta 8, Romeo Hotel Bravo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 73. K0RWB, QRZ, any stations anywhere? A couple of stations at the same time there, wouldn't it? It'll pull you back out. QRZ, let's try it again.
K0RWB.
I got a something VI, Victor India. Try it again.
That's Kilo Charlie 8, Oscar Victor India.
Kilo Charlie 8, Oscar Victor India. Michael, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you, sir?
Well, I'll tell you, my friend, if I was doing any better, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. How's that for an answer?
I know that feeling. How's this rig sound out that way?
Well, the audio sounds real good. The signal's about 5 and 7 and 5 and 8, and looks like you're coming out of the Dayton, Ohio area. Is that a Roger?
Roger. Yeah, I'm actually in Springfield, Ohio, but it comes back at Dayton. But yeah, I was real worried about this rig tonight. I wasn't sure it was actually working or not, to tell you the truth.
No, sir. It sounds real good in my receive. What are you running there on that side? Go ahead.
I've got a 706 Mark II G I'm running right now. Running on a vertical Diamond CPA 6A. And I've actually got a bad 40-meter trap, and I'm waiting on a new one to come in, but I seem to be doing something here.
Hey, Roger. Well, if it wasn't for the static crashes that I can hear out there, you know, everything's nice and quiet otherwise, and your audio is really good. So it sounds good in my receive. Doesn't seem like there's any issues at all there, Roger.
Roger. What's your call sign there, slowly, please?
Yeah, you bet. The call is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, red, white, and blue.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. How's the weather out that way?
Well, it decided to take a little cold snap on us today, Michael. It was a lot nicer yesterday. We dropped about 15 degrees today, but the sun was shining. I got up this morning and I had coffee, so it's been a good day overall. Go ahead.
Well, we've had some good days. It was a little chilly this morning, but I'm hoping for better weather tomorrow. You know how that is. We're right there in Ohio. We're right in the middle there. It can be cold one day and warm the next.
Hey, Roger, well, they always say if you don't like the weather, wait a half an hour, it'll change on you. So I'm sure you've got that same issues there as well. Michael, I don't know if I told you or not, we're actually streaming live here on YouTube. So we're actually going live, and it's being played and also being recorded. And if you're interested in listening to our QSO, see what you sound like on the air, You can do it one of two ways. You can go to my QRZ page, and I have a link. You can click on that, or you can just go to YouTube and type in my call sign and look for today's date, and then fast forward to about 17 minutes in, and you can hear what you sound like on the air there. Go ahead.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, I'm actually got a new 7300 ICOM ordered. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a 9700 I really like. But, of course, the problem is right now any of the radios are getting hard to get right at the moment.
Yeah, they sure are. We've got a local store here that we keep in contact quite often, and I actually talked with them today, and they've got about 14 7300s coming in, and I think 12 of them are already sold. He does have a couple of others. He's got 991As that'll be in by the end of the week, I think he said, and he's got a couple of the Yaesu FTDX 10s, which is what I'm currently running right now. So he said they do trickle in 1 and 2, 3 at a time, but it's been such an increase of radios being sold that you can never tell until they show up at the door. Roger?
Roger, the biggest problem is that fire they had over in Japan with the chip factory. That's been the biggest problem with them. It's going to be a while before that gets back up and running, but I've had mine ordered now for probably a month, and they were supposed to have them up till the end of April, but there's none nowhere.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I've heard some orders have taken away from 4 to 6 weeks to actually hit the ground, and I know for a time the dealers or the manufacturers weren't even given ship dates, so it kind of makes it tough on the retailers. But it'll all work itself out. You're on the air right now. Sound good. I'd be really anticipating the time to work you on the 7300. I own one as well. It's in Studio B, which is downstairs, and we use that from time to time and use it a lot for portable work. It's a great radio, real small and compact, really light. Has a lot of features to it, and I'm sure you'll like it a lot.
I'm sure I will. I sure like this 9700, but I used to have a 756 Pro 2 and a 910H, and I got rid of them about 10 years ago and got out of this for a while and got back into it here a couple months ago, so I'm back on the radio, I guess.
Well, I think that's great. Welcome back, and I'm sure you'll make lots of contacts and just get a little bit better every day. Of course, I think the bands are coming around, and I think Cycle 25 is at some point it's going to start getting a little better. Of course, I'm not going to complain because it doesn't do any good, and we can't change the conditions. But that's just the way it is. But we made a contact tonight, and you came up that last go around about 5 and 9, so it's definitely coming around. I do appreciate you giving us a call. We'll kind of move down a little bit and see if we can make a few more while we've got some time. But we do appreciate you taking the time to give us a call, Michael, and I hope your week will be good coming ahead, and be safe and be well. And I look forward to working you again, especially when you get your 7300. I'll say 73s now. I'll do mine, and you can do yours as well. Kilo Charlie 8, Oscar Victor India, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 73s, Michael.
73 K0RWB clear.
Roger. QRZ, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Any stations anywhere?
Kilo Charlie 5, Yankee Mike Charlie, North Texas.
I got a Kilo Charlie 5 Yankee question mark.
Kilo Charlie 5, Yankee Mike Charlie in North Texas.
Okay, Kilo Charlie 5 Yankee Mike Charlie in North Texas. Oh, that's the good part of Texas, Roger.
Roger that. That's the best part of Texas. Lived there in Collin County for the last 10 years and retiring and getting back into the hobby. Got my general license a couple of days ago, and I'm talking to you on a ICOM 7610 on a compromised G5 RV antenna, and ironically hanging off my sunsetter shade up in my backyard.
Oh, that's terrific. Hey, congratulations and welcome back to the hobby, and congrats on getting your general. That's a good solid 5.9. No problems hearing you at all, and I got your page pulled up there as well. thank you very much for your service. I'm glad that you, what they say, you did your time and you came out alive or what have you. I did my time. I just didn't know how long my sentence was. That was my issue. But no, it sounds great. And that just tells you how well the little G5 RVs work there, Doug. Go ahead.
QSL on that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I had it kind of easy. I worked in the school system. The kids were great. The parents were not. But you had to deal with, both of them on their own terms. But yes, sir, I'm starting to run on my extra. I hope I have that here in the next 2 or 3 months. I had to retire because of a pretty bad heart attack from a medical disability. So the recuperation time, I'll kind of divert my mind over to the extra class, and we'll go from there. But you're a solid 5'9" here, and I've got your YouTube stream up on my iPad right now. What a great idea, and I intend to go back and look at this thing and listen to my this QSO later on.
Well, I appreciate that, and I wasn't the first, and I won't be the last. I had a lot of help to kind of get to where we're at. I did nothing any different than you just did. As I heard a station out there, nice signal. I made a call and told me about YouTube, and there's not that much opportunity that we get to hear ourselves on the air. And I thought it sounded good in my headphones until I listened to the playback, and so I started making little adjustments, and I'd call back into him each day, and it started to improve a little bit, and we have now become really good friends. His name is Alex. He's in Cutler Bay, Florida. His call is Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. Most people out here know him or of him, and he suggested that we give it a go because there's a lot of YouTubers on the East Coast, not so much Central U.S., Midwest. So we're not able to talk to the same stations and so forth. I do like 40 meters. It's a much closer in, frequency. I would never be able to work you probably on 20 meters, but here on 40 we can. And it's been a lot of fun. The new operators, I had a 9-year-old in Huffman, Texas the other night who was very well spoken, has a technician license working with his dad and he has his general, of course, and he's working to get his general by this summer. And that's the future of our hobby, which is really nice. So we do appreciate the people that do have a chance to check in and check out the stream as well. And hopefully everybody gains something out of it there, Roger.
Affirmative on that. I worked in broadcasting back in the 70s before going into law enforcement, and I was a disc jockey for a while, and absolutely, when you go back and listen to yourself on tape, as we call them, air checks, you get pretty disappointed at times. It sounds good in your ears, but not so much out there on the airways. And so I decided to go into engineering, and that's kind of where I terminated my broadcasting career. So anyway, I just wanted to get in there and get a shout to you. You sound really strong down here in Texas. God love you. You stay safe, and I'm going to say 73s to you. KC5, Yankee Mike Charlie.
My pleasure, and hopefully we'll have a chance to work again. I look forward to it, and I don't know if I'm looking forward to working you when you're an extra, because you'll go where I can't. I'm having fun in the general. We've given it some thought, but so far so good. Anyway, thanks for giving us a call. Be safe and be well. Have a great week ahead. And if you hear us out there again, by all means, give us a call, and we'll pick it up where we left out. If you're curious about when we'll be back out again, you can subscribe and hit the little notification bell that tells you when we're out here doing live and get a chance to check in with you again. I look forward to it. In the meantime, have a great evening. Thank you so much for giving us a call from Texas. Kilo Charlie 5, Mike Charlie, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again, 7-3s. And QRZ, K0RWB, any stations anywhere? Come back with your call.
Kilo Bravo 8, Queen Delta.
Kilo Bravo 8, Quebec Delta. James, how are you this evening?
Not too bad, Randy. I think maybe we may have worked before. I think I bought the only 7300 in the country here last week. So I finally got it today. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what it sounds like. Over.
We worked on the 3rd, but I think I told you come back anytime, and see, you did. So that's perfect. Are you operating the 7300 right now?
Yeah, I am.
It sounds terrible. You probably ought to ship it over to me and let me check it out for a couple of months, and I'll get back to you.
I was on the old FT101ZD last time we talked.
That's right. I remember that. I've got that up here in my notes. That's right. Well, is the ZD retired, or is it a backup rig?
Oh, it's a backup rig. I'm not sending it to the garage anymore. It's still sitting right here beside me. I'll get an antenna switch and fire it up and keep the cobwebs out of it once in a while.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, you know, on ham radio, 2 is 1 and 1 is 0, so it's nice to have another one there. Your signal's been 5.9 plus, and the audio is right there. It doesn't have a lot of full fidelity. That's not a bad thing. It sounds really good and clear, and I would venture to guess that all the settings are probably defaults unless you went in and made a few.
Pretty much. I might give the mic gain just a little bit here and see if that made any difference. Over.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not as much mic gain as it's compression. You know, the default setting on the mic gain is about 50. And I believe default for compression is 0. You can try anywhere between 20 and 40 with about 1 or 2 compression. Then you can go in and hit your transmit audio settings as well. It doesn't sound bad at all, Jim. That's not what I'm not saying it doesn't. But you can really dial them in to where they sound like broadcasts. Roger.
Yeah, Roger, KB8QD. I put a couple notches of compression on. Yeah, there, a couple notches of compression on. I'm hesitant to use that other than on DX. There, take some of that back off. I'm hesitant other than using it on DX because I hear these people on there just driving them with the linears and driving the daylights out of them. It sounds so terrible. Over.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like now. So I tried compression at 1 or compression at 2.
All right, there. Is that better? That's 2.
Go down 1 more.
Okay, there's compression at 2, and let's see, mic gain is at 54, I believe.
Try your mic gain at 40 and compression at 1. If you would, please.
One over here. There's the mic gain at 55.
Well, it does sound like it's driving a little bit, and I assume you're probably running the stock mic. Is that correct?
No, I'm running that SM30 desk mic.
Okay. Well, it sounds a little high pitched than where you were before, so I would back them down a little bit.
Okay, that's 50%.
I try 40%.
Okay, 40%.
That sounds a lot clearer. Sounds pretty good. You're getting there.
I don't know whether I'd be able to bust a pile up with it this way.
Well, you see how easy it is to change it back up. Again, it's not mic gain as much as this compression. That's what's going to compress your signal and give you that extra punch. But it does kind of ruin it a little bit for rag chew. So just to give you an idea, and no two 7300s are set the same. My mic gain's at 20, and I have compression at 1, and I run +3 for bass and +4 for treble. So, and I have it open at I think it's 200 and 2800 is what the transmit is set out. So I mean, again, you can play around with it. But Jim, you can give a listen, you know, on the playback on the channel, on the YouTube channel. You can listen to it for yourself because you've made a handful of adjustments, and you can be able to tell what sounds best for you. There, Roger.
Oh yeah. And I think I might have bumped the VFO and slid down a few hertz on you too, so that might have turned the sound off somewhat. Is this different now?
It sounds like you from when we talked a week or so. Well, on the 3rd. So yeah, about 7 days ago, thereabouts. Yeah, it sounds like you again.
Yeah, I haven't been on 40 meters a whole lot. I've been banging away on 20 in Europe all week, having a blast. blast with that. I think I got 16 countries in Europe here in 2 weeks, so having fun with that.
I think that's great. And now you're back up to 5.9 plus again, too. So the signal came back around. Yeah, again, once you're back on frequency and those little adjustments, now you're starting to get that full fidelity sound. That sounds really good in the headphones there. Go ahead.
Quebec Delta 73.
Okay, Jim. Thanks for giving us a call. Nice to work you. And congrats on the 7300. I have a feeling we're gonna have many more QSOs to come. I look forward to it. But thanks for giving us a call this evening. Be safe and be well. Look for you again, no doubt. Kilo Bravo 8, Quebec Delta, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo 73. Thanks again. QRZ, K0RWB, any stations anywhere? Come back with your call.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Yankee uniform.
The Quebec Yankee uniform again, please. The Quebec Yankee uniform station again, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Yankee uniform. Copy.
I think so. Kilo Echo 8, Quebec uniform, Yankee uniform. Roger.
Roger, Roger. That's it. The name here is Keith, and you just talked to my neighbor Mike about 10 minutes ago. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure enough. You've got a Springfield address as well, there, Roger.
Yeah. Mike and I are right next door. I'm probably rattling on his windows right now if he's still listening.
Well, I'm sure you'll have a knock on the door if that happens. So if you got to go, I understand. Well, you're 5.9 plus, so I think we've got a nice little pipeline into the area. It's nice to see that. I still have a feeling as the night goes on, at least for a little bit, I think the band's going to open up because everybody's starting to sound a whole lot better there. Go ahead.
Roger. I just switched to a different antenna. I switched to my vertical antenna. It seemed like your signal came up when I did that. What'd that do for me? Go ahead, Randy.
Oh, you're about the same. It's bumping 5.9 to plus 10. Of course, the band is, it's still moving around anyway. Nobody's been really solid, but everybody's been copyable and readable. So I'd say there's probably a little difference on the high end, but again, the band is still moving. So to give you an exact number, it'd be hard to say.
Yeah, okay, because well, you're up there east of me, and usually my wire seems to do better going, on 40 meters at night when the skip is closer or the DX is closer, and then the vertical seems to do better when I reach out west coast or something.
Yeah, and that would probably make sense. We have just a 40-meter dipole on the side of my tower. It's only about 38 foot, and it's not set up in a great configuration. We wanted to get in the air, and now we're just waiting for a warmer day with no wind, so we can tilt the tower over and bring it up about another 10 foot or so. So I hope that will help us. So I know we've got some areas that work really well for us, and some are kind of lacking, but I think overall right now it's doing okay, but I know it can do better. Roger.
Roger. Well, the antenna that I'm running now is only about 20 feet in the air. It's one of the PAR NFEDs. It's a multi-bander, the PAR NFED quad 10 through 40. Copy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's working, no doubt. And again, once the band would just calm down a little bit, your signal doesn't waver. It's been solid right there at 5.9, and I'm showing on the logger about 550 miles as a crow flies. So that's relatively short there, Roger.
Yeah. That's just the way this wire seems to work. But then it'll throw me a curveball, and it'll give me something in Europe or something too. So I don't quite understand it. And the vertical's been doing the same thing to me. I thought the vertical would be better in some situations, and it wasn't. The wire was better. So I'm trying to get it figured out so I can switch back and forth as I need to, but there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to any of it. Go ahead.
Oh, there is not, because you're just now, you've been plus 10 and plus 15. So that just goes to show you that the band is kind of ebbing and flowing, moving left and right, up and down. Again, if I can hear him and get a report, that's always a contact on my book. Anything above that's gravy. Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I just turned my power down just for giggles. I turned my power down
down 40 watts. You still got me?
Yeah, a little more noise, a little QSB, but you're about 5 and 8.
Roger. Yeah, I called for you a couple times with the radio sitting at like 5 watts, but you know, a couple other big boys came in there and stomped all over me. But all right, Randy, I don't want to keep you tied up anymore. I'm sure you got plenty more contacts to make. So 73s to you. I enjoyed it. And you take care. Have a good evening. This is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Yankee uniform.
I appreciate it, Keith. Thanks for giving us a call there, and hopefully you're not rattling each other's doors, because you were, like I said, that last round, you're 10 to almost 20 over. So nice to see we got a pipeline into the Springfield area, so to speak, which is nice. And I do appreciate you taking the time to stop by. I'm glad we had a chance to talk, and I'm hoping that we'll have many more QSOs to come down the road as well. So have a great evening, a great week ahead. Be safe and be well, and I look forward to working you again. Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Yankee uniform, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 732K. Okay, QRZ, K0RWB, any stations anywhere. Come back with your call.
Kilo Echo 8, Echo Uniform Sierra.
There's a Kilo station again, please. Copy a Kilo 8 station again, please.
That might have been me. It was a Kilo Echo 8, Echo Uniform Sierra.
Well, you know, I'll do that one too. So it's probably just me typing it in wrong. Kilo Echo 8, Echo Uniform Sierra. Jason, is that a Roger?
That's a Roger QSL. I see you there, Randy, on your page there. Got you 5'9" and kind of over here in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Just found you tonight. Nice hearing somebody reaching out to more contacts out there. I fly into Olathe all the time. I'm actually going to be flying in there in a couple days.
Well, are you getting prepared, or would you have to stop because your arms might get tired?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sorry. It's late night. I'm trying to make a joke. It didn't work. You said you were flying in here, and I just asked you had to stop once or twice because your arms could get tired.
Oh, no, I actually, I work there at a downtown airport. I work for some guys. I drive out there to fly their personal plane, and I actually have to fly from downtown to pick them up in Olathe, and then from wherever they need to go there.
Oh, so you're going down to Wheeler then?
Yeah, I fly out of Wheeler, and then I pick up my guys there in Olathe, and then we fly them around wherever they need to go.
Oh, you go from Wheeler down to New Century Airport?
Olathe, just east of there. I go into New Century if the weather's too bad, but yeah.
Okay, well, been there myself a few times, and I've got a good friend of mine now who's working over at Garmin. He just bought himself a 152. And I think he got a project. He got another 152 that's already been converted to a tail dragger. And, well, he got the fuselage and the wings. He didn't get the motor with it. So he's going to be doing that himself. And I believe when he got the 152 that it came with hangar space at New Century. So that was probably a pickup for him.
Yeah, that's nice. I just gave Garmin some work myself to put a new autopilot in the 340. So it's a nice little area. It's a long drive out from Dayton, but the job's worth it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And, yeah, we remember the days of the $100 hamburger. I'm sure you're familiar with that term as well. I'm thinking now it's probably several hundred to $300 now. We do get a chance to get up in the air with our friend, but I probably say 80 to 85% of the time is on Flight Simulator, so we can at least kind of keep things in perspective. Roger?
Yes, that's true. Never really did the $100 hamburger, but still loving everywhere I go with it. But thanks for the contact. Good luck, and I'll check out your YouTube channel there. You like that hex beam, huh? Yeah,
I tell you, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Honestly, I've had it since 2012. And I bring it down once a year just for periodic inspection, and I've got a set of ice cords on it, which helps it for the wintertime, of course. And otherwise, you know, ice storms and heavy wind, it just flops around like an upside-down umbrella. And you know, for a directional antenna that's 6 through 20 for less than $1,000. If there's something better than that, I'd like to know what it is, but I haven't found it. So I wouldn't trade mine for anything. I do like it a lot.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting one for a while. I'm still just doing the whole homemade dipole thrown up in the trees in the backyard when I feel like chatting or trying these darn digital modes that I can't figure out. But I need to upgrade.
Well, you're 20 over, so I don't know. Of course, on 20 meters or anything other than that, anything other than 40, we would probably be too close to chat with Ego hex to hex. But yeah, for reaching out or working around, I mean, it's great. You know, I hit Australia long path. I can hit Australia short path. I got into Hawaii the other day with it, you know, and of course the conditions are, you know, play the big part, of course, but it does help, I think, when you can direct your signal. Roger.
Sounds good. I'll add it to the list of things to get. But thanks for the contact. I'll get out of the way for the next guy. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for giving us a call, Jason, and nice to work you. And yeah, be safe up there. Make sure you don't forget that checklist. Trust me, I used to have them memorized, but I still didn't trust myself. But hey, very nice that you come into the area. So we've kind of covered some of the same ground. Very nice to work you. I hope to do it again. And by all means, feel free to check back in with us. And yeah, you can check out the channel and listen to the playback on our QSO. You might enjoy that. You probably fast forward to about 44, 43 minutes in. That gets you pretty close to where you and I started. So just kind of fun thing. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe and be well. Kilo Echo 8, Echo Uniform Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3. Okay, and we'll be clear. K0RWB, QRZ, any other stations?
Kilowatt Echo 6 from Hotel X-Ray Fox.
Kilowatt Echo 6, Hotel X-Ray Fox. Is that a Roger? Okay, 5 minutes in the high desert of Cal. First contact for me into California this evening, this afternoon. Thank you for the 5-9 signal. You were about the same as well, 5-8 and 5-9. I do have some noise and some static crashes on my end, but no problem copying there. Go ahead.
QSL, we have a little bit of that here also, so I guess it's just that time of the year. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it is as well. We've had some unsettled weather the last 4 or 5 days, which is pretty common for first part of April in this part of the world. And of course, you know, the extreme weather can be coming for the next month as well, till about the middle of May, end of May. So you just hope that we don't get too severe, and those who do are prepared for it. That's about all you really can do. But it doesn't mean that stuff around you doesn't come to the rig. So that's what we're hearing now is a few crashes, and the band is moving around a little bit, but it's holding fairly well so far this evening there. Go ahead.
QSL, well, we've been listening to the band a little bit. There's actually stations in there all the way through up to about 250, 260. That's not a good sign. It's starting to get a little bit better. People are starting to get on also. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking on the waterfall, and there seems to be a lot of activity. We jumped out here about an hour ago, and we didn't have anything near us at all. And of course, trying to find a clear spot, and hopefully we've continued to do so. We certainly don't want to interfere with some others out there, but you know, we're all just trying to make contacts, and we'll see what the band will do. But I do see a lot of activity so far this evening there, Roger. Yeah, there you go. That's one way of putting it. Well, that last go around, I did a quick count, and I saw at least 12 different signals on the waterfall, and that's not even the full 40-meter band. So they're fast and furious, but it doesn't seem like we're on top of each other just yet. At least I'm hoping it's on my transmit. I hear nothing on my receive, but I'm hoping that there's other stations that are getting it clear as well. But yeah, there's a whole lot going on this evening on 40 meters. Roger?
Yes, sir. I believe also. Eventually I have to go listen around. Other than that, you sound really good here. I'll let you go, because I'm sure there's some other people in there that have been reading the mail, and I'd like to say how do you do also. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem at all. Well, I appreciate you giving us the call. And I just checked my log here real quick, and I don't show a contact. So thank you so much for the first one. We try to do this on a regular basis, as long as things don't get in the way. And we notice that 40 meters has been pretty good in the evenings here lately. So we do a live stream on YouTube, which we're doing currently right now. So we're actually live and recording the QSOs. If you're interested in listening to the playback, you can go to either my QRZ page, there's a link, or you can go to YouTube and put in my call. It's just kind of fun, a chance to listen to yourself on the playback is kind of a neat deal. But the whole thing is to make contacts and enjoy the QSOs, and we're doing that so far. But I do appreciate you giving us a call from California. You sound really good. As long as the static crashes stay out of the way. But anyway, be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your week and look forward again. And if you hear us out there, give us a call back. We would be happy to continue the QSO. So Kilo Echo 6, Hotel X-Ray Fox, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again.
Yeah, QSO, before you run off, I'm on Kilowatt 0, and I'm going to go have a listen to this on YouTube. That sounds like a real simple. Kilowatt 0, can you tell me the rest of your call for me, please?
Yeah, I sure can. It's Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, red, white, and blue.
There you go. Oh, I like that. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, red, white, and blue. Thanks very much. Thanks so much to QSO very much for picking me up. You take care. Kilowatt Echo 6, Hotel X-Ray Fox, clear. Thank you.
You bet. And if you wanted to, you can probably fast forward on the video to about 48 minutes in. That would be pretty close to where you and I started. That way you can kind of skip over the other ones if you want. Otherwise, you can listen to them all. Sounds good to me, but that'd be pretty close to where we started. Roger?
Yeah, QSL. Well, thank you very much, and I'll take a look at it in about 48 minutes. I'm kind of curious how this sounds. That sounds interesting. I don't have SDR set up or anything here like that on the laptop. That would sound like fun to find out how this thing sounds. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that.
Now, my pleasure at all. I'm glad to do it. And if we can help in the future in any small way, like I said, give us a call. If you would like to know when we're back out again, you can actually subscribe and then hit the little notification bell, and that'll tell you when I'm going live again, and you can just kind of track where we're at or whatever. And if not, give a listen this evening. Hope you enjoyed it, and I know I did, and I always enjoy making the contacts. Nice to work you from California. 7-3s, K0RWB. We'll be clear, QRZ.
Whiskey 0, Bravo, November, Charlie.
Is that a Whiskey 0, Bravo, November, Charlie?
Roger, Andy. We got Bob in Colorado. We spoke a couple weeks ago, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like on the 2nd, on 40. Oh, darn, we didn't get a new band. That's okay. How are you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. Just came back in from the backyard. Was out testing a couple wire antennas. My daughter and I is going to take a father-daughter trip up to the Black Hills. So I'm going to play a little radio up there. As one friend of mine said, if I'm making CQs from the Black Hills of South Dakota, I'm going to be popular as a prom queen.
Oh, no doubt. A single girl on Saturday night. Now, if you can find a way to get to your antenna up to the Devil's Tower and run the coax back down, I think you'd be able to reach anywhere you wanted to. But I found a few spots. We were up at Custer State Park. We stayed there for a week, and I found a few spots up on some of those knolls. And you'd be surprised what you can do on 5 watts, Roger.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take my Yaesu ST891, and I'm debating on one of the two Zygoos, the 20 or the 5 watt. I'll probably take the 20 watt because we have a UTV, one of those side-by-sides rented for a day. So I'm going to just throw a really simple station together, radio, battery, and a wire. Probably a little fishing pole that I can lash to something, and when we break for lunch, I'll probably set that up for a little bit. So we'll just find a nice spot to go sit in lunch.
Oh, Roger. And what's the time frame you think you'll be up there to set up and activate?
We will be up there, I believe it's May 26th to the 30th. It's Wednesday to Sunday. So we have the ATV all day on Thursday, so probably around noontime I'll be on. And then Saturday we're going to try to go over to the Badlands. So if we can find a space there, we can just kind of sit, maybe a little picnic table or something. Try to do the parts on the air from the Badlands also.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, the reason I asked about the time frame is I'd like to try to work you from that location. I did activate the Badlands and the missile silo right on the North Gate back in 2016 for the national parks, and that's the cool thing about the Badlands. It doesn't matter. There's nothing in the way. You can go to one of their overlooks or little parking lot and set up and do just as well, which I thought was a pretty cool deal. So, but yeah, I'd be looking forward to that because that's a neat little area. And yeah, you're going to be busy if you're going to run a pileup. I have no doubt you'll be busy. Go ahead.
Yeah, roger that. I don't want to spend too much time on it, though. It's her graduation trip from high school, and she wanted to do a father-daughter trip. So I'm going to play a little bit, but that's not going to be the focus of the trip. But I figure lunchtime, that'll be a good time when we're just relaxing and sitting down doing that. And, yeah, if we go out to the Badlands, maybe an hour or so out there.
Yeah, that should be fun. Well, we were looking at coming out there, actually, your part of the world a little early, but looks like they kind of got put back. But my nephew is getting married in Denver, and of course, most of the family is in Fort Collins. And my brother has a friend that's up in Cascade there, between Woodland Park and the Springs. So we're trying to decide where we want to stay. If we want to stay in the Denver area or go up to Fort Collins or someplace in between or down to the Springs or whatever. So, and that's going to be in the first part of August. So, and that's a good time to be out there as well because, a lot of the snow in the high country is gone. It hasn't started snowing yet. And a lot of the tourism has started to slow down a little bit because people are getting ready to put their kids back in school. So we're kind of looking forward to that, but I'm going to bring radio equipment too there, Roger.
Oh, definitely. Well, hey, if you end up staying in Fort Collins, shoot me an email or something. I'm like a 10-minute drive from the south end of town. The road that runs through Severance here is basically Harmony. You know which one Harmony is, so I'm 10 minutes to the interstate.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Oh, sure, no problem. Oh gosh, I'm trying to say my sister's ex-husband still lives there in the spring in Fort Collins. Of course, my parents are no longer there. Well, they're buried there, but they're not in town, of course. Yeah, like I said, we haven't decided where we're going to go. We'll see how it kind of plays out. But at one point or another, it's going to be Fort Collins, Denver, Colorado Springs, all in one day or all in a couple of days. But if I know a day or two ahead of time that we're heading that direction, I'd be happy to send you an email. Maybe we can get together.
Yeah, that'd be great. If it was just for a handshake or sit down for a drink or a quick bite or something, that would be cool. Hey, Randy, I won't keep you. I'm sure you got a lot of people. I'm looking at YouTube here. It looks like you got quite a list going in the chat, so I'll let you jump in there with a few others. But definitely, if you're out this way, especially Fort Collins, give me a call and say if it's nothing more than a handshake or a drink or even a quick bite to eat, love to do it.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun, no doubt. Like, it's, again, not very often that, you get to meet people in person. You become great friends over the air, but, just because of locations and other things, I get it. And every once in a while, things work out. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But I'll be looking for you as well in part of May. And of course, I'm good in QRZ, so you can also send me an email. Say, hey, I'm looking at of activating the park, because I'd like a chance to try to work you as well. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. But thanks, Bob, for giving us a call. Nice to hear you again. And yeah, it's nice to hear you in there and get a chance to work you. I always enjoy getting back that part of the country. Of course, I think I told you that last time. So, hey, enjoy the rest of your week and be safe and be well. And let's do it again real soon. A week or so. That's okay. We're doing it a week at a time. I can take that. Hey, you take care. Whiskey Zero Bravo November Charlie Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again, Bob.
Sounds real good, Randy. Good to speak to you again. And yeah, definitely take care. K0RWB W0BMC 73.
Okay, 73s. This is K0RWB. We're going to see if we can get a hold of this call up in Chicago. Kilo Delta 9 Juliet Romeo uniform. See if I can get him on the live here. Kilo Delta 9 Juliet Romeo uniform. K0RWB. Back to you. try it again. Kilo Delta 9, Juliet Romeo uniform. Bill, you got a copy? K0RWB. Well, nothing heard. QRZ, K0RWB, any stations anywhere?
Alpha 1, Italy Alpha, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Hey, are you stalking me? What's going on down there? Okay, brother, let's hear it. What's happening down in Daytona?
Hey, my friend, I wasn't sure if I only got a weak coffee on you down here. We can't hear you tonight. Nothing much. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Over.
Well, I'm as good as it can be expected, I guess. But yeah, things are good. I think the band is kind of short for me tonight, but I do have a copy on you. I did get a couple of contacts in New York, but a lot in Ohio and Texas. Just got finished with Colorado, so it may be a stretch for us, but 1,000 miles, that's a long way to run there, Roger.
Yeah, I'm amazed you can hear me. I have a good copy on you. I have a 5.7 of noise, and you're between a 5.7 and a 5.9, so you're doing fine, Randy. But yeah, it's real tough coffee tonight, my friend. Over.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was going to be like. We've been out here for about an hour, and we didn't want to try 6 o'clock. I thought that was still a little early because 20 was still active. So we waited till a little after 7 o'clock Central, and it seemed to be okay. I mean, we're not lacking. There are lots of nice people to talk with, and I'm sure there'll be more as well. But, you never know what you're going to get here on 40 meters in the evenings. I know it's been pretty good lately, but we didn't have a chance over the weekend, of course, and here we are back on Monday. So we wanted to try it tonight there, Roger.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm thinking you must have turned your antenna up towards me because you came up to a 5.9 on that transmission. But no, I'm just hanging around. I've been listening since you got on here, just watching a video here and hanging around, straightening out the shack and playing with the radio. And we'll let you get a couple of more in there, man. I was sure glad to check in with you tonight, Randy. It's always a pleasure, my brother. You're one of those dudes who makes ham radio worth it. You know what I mean?
Well, we do our small part. That's all we can do. Again, we're not doing it because we have to. We do it because we like to, and we're certainly having a ball. And you know that. We've talked many times, and I think you and I both kind of look at it the same way. And that's all you can ask for. And if there's people who get something out of it, I think it's great. And we appreciate the people that take the time. You take the time to call in when you could do other things, so I appreciate it as well. It's always a pleasure to get a chance to talk with you. It'd be nice we could work 20 or 40 meters and we could be plus 20 the entire time, but it's just not in the cards. That's okay. We'll work it the best we can there, Roger.
Would take the fun right out of it, Randy. It would take the fun right out of it. So a little operating note I wanted to ask if you've ever considered running RF gain, your RF gain, if you've ever considered running it in the squelch position. Over.
I have a few times, and I feel like I'm missing something, so I back it off again. So. But with the DNR, again, you know how that works. I don't hear much of it anyway, so it knocks a lot of the noise out.
Roger. Yeah, I've been trying that. It's been nice for local action, although you got to shut it off if you're gonna do weak signal work anyways. I was just wondering if you'd ever given it a shot and seen the nice, lovely little green light.
Yeah, I have actually. Again, I'm always worried about missing something, so I kind of hate to do that. But funny you should say that. I actually did that earlier today, and then we did a little extra, some extra work this afternoon, early afternoon, down in Studio B. and we were able to put a short little video together that's on the channel, so you get a chance to take a look at that and tell me what you think. We're having fun with that one too. Hopefully somebody will get something out of it. And we had fun making it, and I'm hoping it is worthwhile for people to watch here. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, I'll tell you, you know, for not only me and for somebody who has helped out repeater owners and equipment owners and, you know, anybody who wants to volunteer in this hobby is just putting a good name on the hobby for us all, you know, and you're just one of those guys, darn it.
Well, I'm just what do they say? I'm a small cog in a big wheel. That's really what it is. There's a combination of people. Again, the power of this community is by far better than most you're going to see anywhere, and you know that just from getting around and working other stations. But it's a terrific community. There's a varied interest, of course. We all have one common interest, which is the radio, but diverse backgrounds and experiences. That's what makes the hobby great. And I haven't seen a ham yet that wouldn't try to help another one, so that's pretty cool, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, man, definitely. It is a good place to be, and it's a good time to be in the hobby, I think, you know. I think I got back in right at the right time. I was around for the big
uniform.
Hang on, Alex.
Editions over in the 80s and the 70s, and you know, and into the 90s. I was involved in 2 really good skip cycles, so you know, I've been there, and you know, one water around the world type stuff. So, hey, Randy, thanks for picking up this Daytona Beach noise-making station around here. I'll say 7-3 to you, my friend, and it's always a pleasure. 30RWB, you have a great day, and we'll talk after soon, Randy. AA1IA.
Okay, Mark, it sounds good, man. Yeah, you know, the band is okay. We're able to copy each other. We're not going to complain. I was hoping that that maybe Alex could hear you or you can hear him. He just hit me on the chat. So stick around. Maybe you can hear him on the air. I know you'll be able to hear him on the stream, but either or. Always a pleasure. You know that. One of my good on the radio friends. So like I said before, one of these days we'll find a way to get together. I have no doubt. Mark, thank you. Have a good night, brother. And don't do it. Well, I'm not going to say that. Have a great week. Alpha 1, India Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3's Mark.
7-3's Randy.
Okay, we'll clear K0RWB. See if we can get a hold of the other station here. Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. Alex, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm right here. I don't want to go to sleep before I say hi to you, brother. And, you know, propagation is not so great today, but I'm copying you 5 and 8 to 5 and 9 here. Nice signal. Nice signal, brother. Over.
Yeah, you're about the same here in my receive. We gave you a couple of lines there on the chat. You were bouncing around 20 to 17, and I think you were doing your Spanish version down here on 40. We were trying to finish up a video to get loaded, so we didn't have a chance to get you on the air. But I'm glad that you came in here. Nice to work here on 40 meters. We got ourselves a new band, and you're the same way in my receive, 5 and 8 and 5 and 9 there, Roger.
Roger, man. Thank you very much. You also, you know, 5 and 8 to 5 and 9 here. Beautiful audio like always, my brother. Well, appreciate the context. Say hello to the guys that are watching you, and Judel is watching the live stream right now. You know, okay. And he's saying hello to you. All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Continue doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for the QSO, and I will go back to replay to listen to my own voice. Over and over. This is Whiskey 7 Hotel Union. Over and over.
Hey, Roger. Matter of fact, I had a conversation with Dan tonight, this afternoon, and your name came up, and he had some very nice things to say about you as well. He was very impressed and very happy what you what you are doing for him in the store, and he says he thought that was very cool. He hasn't heard from the other ones yet, but of course Armando I don't think is home yet, so his is probably waiting on him when he gets there, and the other two were mailed out, but I'm sure they haven't received theirs yet as well. So I take it back. Todd did get a chance to talk with Dan as well, and so that's kind of a cool thing. So I'm hoping that it works for everybody. It seems like you're getting what you needed done, and I know Dan appreciates it and makes it a cool thing. Roger.
Okay, man. Yes, I know that well. Say hello to him next time you talk to him, and I will install the, I call this this Saturday. Well, thank you so much, and 7-3, Randy. My pleasure. Bye-bye. Going to sleep, man. It's 20 a.m. Usually at this time I'm starting sleeping. 73, and goodbye.
Okay, Alex, take care. Get some sleep, brother. Talk with you tomorrow. Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
7-3s.
And QRZ, K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City. Calling QRZ, any stations, anywhere. Come back with your call.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Alpha Golf Lima.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Alpha Golf Lima. Paul, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, and you?
Well, Paul, I'll tell you what. If I was doing any better, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. How's that for an answer?
I tell people I'd have to be a twin. Over.
Hey, there you go. That's terrific. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. Again, in case you didn't hit it, the name here is Randy, and we're about 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. And we just decided to make some calls tonight. We're also live on YouTube. Go ahead.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm about 100 miles northeast of Pittsburgh. If you know where Interstate 80 is, where it goes across Pennsylvania. I'm about 8 miles from exit 97. And you have a nice solid 5x9 signal and into Pennsylvania here. I'm running 100 watts from an Icom 746 Pro into a G5RV. Over.
Wow, that's impressive. That's really impressive, actually, on 100 watts. Of course, 746 Pro is a great radio. And I've got your page pulled up. I'm actually putting that on the stream so we get I was hoping you had more pictures than that, not just one. No, that's terrific, though. Basically, you're talking about 100 watts in a wire. Again, I wonder why my electric bill is so high, because I'm running power, and it doesn't sound like I need to, because you guys running barefoot are doing so well, Roger.
That's great. This rig was a gift from a daughter of a friend of mine who passed away in December from COVID, and I'm just getting used to it. Usually I run a 10-tech Jupiter, but it's a neat rig, got lots of features, so I'm just learning how to use them. Over.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm sorry to hear about your silent key, but I would venture to guess that they would want the equipment to be used, so you're doing that. And yeah, fine business on the 10-tech. I've got a piece of 10-tech as well. I've got one of their solid-state amps from back in the day. That's downstairs in Studio B, as they call it. But they make great equipment. I just wish it would have taken off a little bit better than maybe some of the other manufacturers as well. There, Roger.
Yeah, I really like 10-tech gear. I've played with it over the years, and I was buying it on eBay with known problems, fixing it up and selling it, trying to make a few bucks to support the habit. I mean the hobby. And was using that Jupiter, and this Icom came along, and I'm struggling because I love them both. Over.
Oh yeah, well that's the perfect setup for amateur radio. You know, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So you got 2, so you're set.
Yeah, right. I'll have to tell my wife that.
Oh no, don't say. Oh gosh, no. Then you are in trouble. Oh yeah, no. I just tell her I move radio from A to B, and she doesn't know the difference. So you got to be careful. And unless they've already looked in the shack, then you might be dead in the water.
Well, they all have knobs, so I don't know if she knows the difference. But I'm afraid she'll catch on. Over.
Well, you know, there's 2 different prices, the one you tell them and the one that actually is. So that's kind of how I've survived all these years.
Yeah, she's pretty patient with me. She doesn't understand why I need more than one, but it's just that they tend to accumulate so easy. It's just I don't really multiply like rabbits or something.
Well, the way it works, I mean, you don't have just one tool in a toolbox. You have several different tools. They do different things. Well, the radios and antennas and amplifiers, they all have a certain purpose, so you have to have those to be able to do the job correctly.
I like the way you think.
Unfortunately, there's a price that goes along with that, Paul, and that's the part that hurts the pocketbook the most. So we've made some major changes since December between a new amplifier and 2 new radios. So I think we're set for a while, so she doesn't have to get on me anymore.
Yeah, the problem I've run into is I've fixed them. I've run into a couple that I really liked and worked really great. And I just got rid of an Omni D Series B that was beautiful little radio. I was going to use at camp, but then I either had to get rid of the Jupiter or it, and the Jupiter is a sweet thing to run too. And I finally sold the Omni D, but I don't know. The Jupiter's almost too nice to take to camp though.
Yeah, that's a dilemma. You'd almost have to flip a coin. The 746 is a pretty good size radio. The Juniper is a pretty good size radio. It sounds to me that you need to get another radio that's designed more for that more portable type of situation, like a Yaesu 991 Alpha.
Have you priced alimony?
I have, and I know where 2 are at I know where 2 are coming on Friday.
I got it.
Yeah, so I've got connections, so to speak. Hi. No, I was actually talking with my local operator today. His name is Dan. He runs a shop here in the Kansas City Metro, and I was asking about inventory and what's going on with the manufacturers and so forth, and he kind of gave me the lowdowns that stuffs are coming in 2s and 3s at a time, and of course he has a list of radios that are already sold versus some that'll be left for stock and so forth. So thought it was quite interesting. Stuff is coming around. It's just taking a while because there's been such a demand, which again I think is great because we got a great increase of new operators, in the hobby. A lot of young operators in the hobby as well. So I think the hobby right now is in great hands, Roger.
Yeah, I wasn't sure there for a while. A lot of younger kids, my Show 'em Ham radio showed me their cell phone and they're not impressed. We have a club at a local place called Treasure Lake over in a town called Du Bois, and very active club, and they're licensing a couple, 3 people every quarter. So we have an influx of new operators in this area that's kind of a treat, and they're all good operators. I haven't heard any lids or anything like that. So it's refreshing. I'm 65. I've been a ham since I was 20, and it's interesting to see a comeback. I'm glad for it. Over.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And I'll give you a great example. I've been doing a YouTube live stream now for just about 12 weeks, and I have come in contact with a lot of brand new hams and younger hams. And the interesting thing about the younger hams, yes, they've got their nose in their cell phone, so to speak. But when I started doing the live stream and I put my radio display on the screen, not only do they get to see what's going on when I transmit, they get to see what's happening when they transmit. And that's really what's been drawing these younger operators, because this is a little added bonus, I guess you want to say, to the hobby, is there's a few people out there that are actually live streaming while you're broadcasting on the air, which is kind of a neat deal. So I know personally I've gotten some emails and texts from some of these people, and especially the parents of the younger operators, and what has drawn them is what they can see on the screen on YouTube, even though it's still ham radio, Roger.
Oh, nice. WB3AGL. Well, what do you live stream under?
I live stream under my call sign, in which we're live right now, Paul. You can find it one of 2 ways. You can either go to my QRZ page, and I have a link. It'll take you right to it. Or you can go to YouTube. You can put in my call sign. Of course, look for the one with today's date on it. And, for instance, if you wanted to listen to our QSO, you could fast forward to about 1 hour 15, give or take. That would be pretty close. And, again, you'd have a chance to listen to yourself on the air, which doesn't happen often. I mean, you can say, well, I listen to myself in the headphones. Never the same as it on the air. At least that's been my circumstance, Roger.
Yeah, hey, that's actually great because I just picked up a Heil micro headset, and I've heard some bad things about the microphones on these, and so I was kind of curious as to what it would sound like. And I'll probably, when we're done here, I'll tune in and listen to that and see what it sounds like. Over.
You're running the Heil Pro micro headset?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I have the same one. Here's the thing that's notorious about that headset. It is really on the lows. There, you have to add a lot of highs to it. It's really low. I have the same one here. I just put my hands on it, and that's the first thing people will say. It sounds good. You're audible, but it's really low. It has a lot of bass to it. So you really have to go in the rig and adjust some negative bass and add some highs to it, and then it becomes a wonderful setup.
I appreciate that feedback. I tend to have a deep, bassy voice anyway, so that probably aggravates it.
Well, again, between conditions, what the band is like, you can never really tell, what a person is supposed to sound like, how well they sound like. This microphone here is a Heil PR781. I'm running it on the Yaesu FTDX10. In my headphones, it sounds real tinny and high. But on playback, or what you're hearing, it shouldn't sound that way. But to me, in my headphones, it does. So even with that headset that you've got, it sounds like it's okay. But on the receive end, it's low, it's bassy, but that's just the way that element is. But with a little of adjustments, it's a wonderful headset, and you can get it dialed in and get full fidelity, Roger.
Great. Like I said, I appreciate the feedback. I picked the headset up for, what was it, $40 with the adapter for the ICOM, and both for that price, it was worth taking the chance.
No, it's perfect. I use that microphone anytime I do portable work, or when I was doing it back in 16, the National Parks on the Air program. I keep referencing that, but that's when I started getting the portable work. And it's a terrific headset. It works really good on Vox, or you can use a hand switch or what have you, and it's terrific. It's just that element. I think it's the HM5, if I'm or HT5, is really has a low tone to it, and you just got to work it to try to reduce some of that and add some highs, and then it'll sound wonderful. But out of the box, yeah, it's a little bit low, but it's not terrible, but it's low. But like I said, go listen to the playback, and you can hear it for yourself.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm running Vox, and I don't normally run Vox due to issues in the background noise and stuff like that, but I don't have a push-to-talk switch hooked up on this yet. I'll probably put one up. I normally use a foot switch. I built a homebrew foot switch with two micro switches, one come in early to kick on the amp and one for the radio, but I don't have it hooked up to this yet. Over.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. And you've got the Vox set up because it's not cutting off your first syllable, and it's not cutting off your last one on your transmission. So you've got it set up fine. I ran Vox for many, many years on another rig, and I bought a 7300 in end of January, which I knew I was going to use it later on for portable work, so it's down in Studio B. And then about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I picked up this Yaesu FTDX10, and I wanted to make sure it was paired right, so we paired it with the Heil 781. We did have a chance to run the PR40 and the Heil Gold Line Elite and the Heil HM12, but this one seemed to be the best to get that full fidelity. But again, in my headphones, it sounds real tinny, but on on the receive end and listening on the playback on YouTube, it sounds just great. It sounds like me.
WB3AGL. It sounds good here. I don't know what you sound like, but it's very perfectly readable. It's like you're sitting beside me. Over.
Well, that's nice to hear. I appreciate that. Again, little tweaks here and there, Paul. That headset's going to be great. It's going to work fine for you. I ran that same headset with the Yaesu 857 Delta, and once I got it set up a little bit, it sounded okay. It does not sound good on this rig. I need to go in and change some settings for it to come up a little bit, but I don't really anticipate using it here at the shack. It's what I've got this microphone for, and headsets just seems to work out better. But anyway, like I said, give a look, give a listen to the channel if you like. We do this on a regular basis. We're starting to work a little bit more 40 meters in the evenings because there's been a lot of activity, and we'd like to kind of work in close. But you're Pennsylvania, it's 824 miles as the crow flies is what the logger says. So that's a great contact as well. And if you'd like to know when we're back out again, you can hit that little notification bell on the channel, and then you'd know. And listen to the playback, see what you think. And I'd like to have a chance to work again if you make some adjustments to it there as well, Roger.
Sounds great. Randy, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go listen to that, and then, I'll look for you down the road somewhere else. So thanks so much for coming back to me. K0RWB, WB3AGL. Listening for your final.
You bet, Paul. Appreciate you giving us a call. Enjoyed the QSO, and look forward to working you again. So congrats on the retirement. Did ours as well, so it gives us more time for radio for sure. Be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your week. Look forward to working you again. Whiskey Bravo 3, Alpha Golf Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo 73.
73.
Okay, QRZ, K0RWB. Any stations anywhere?
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Bravo Lima.
The Victor Bravo Lima again, please.
Yeah, call here is Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Bravo Lima. Roger.
Okay, I got the last part really good. The first part was a little tough for me to pull in, but I got you that time. Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Bravo Lima. Matt, how are you doing, sir?
That is the name, yeah, Matt here. We are located up in the Upper Peninsula. I was just turning the VFO and heard you at the tail end of that last QSO. What's your name? I don't have the logger next to me.
Okay, the name here is Randy, and the QTH, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Okay, QSL on the Kansas City, Missouri. Very good. You are a 5'9" into northern Michigan. Over.
Okay, great. I appreciate that 5'9", and you're about the same way, 5'8", 5'9". Again, I've got little crashes on my end and a little bit of noise. It seems like the band is moving around. It's getting a little bit more stable than it was an hour or so ago, so it's nice to hear the stations that are coming in nice and strong. And if it's put in correctly, it will put you up around Hancock, Michigan. Is that right?
That is correct. We are located in Hancock, Michigan. We're actually a little bit east of the city of Hancock. We're out just north of Portage Lake at about 1,030-foot elevation here in the Keweenaw Peninsula. Over.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's really great. Well, I appreciate you giving us a call this evening. Again, we kind of think that 40 has had a lot of activity here the last week or so, and we've kind of adjusted our times to try to get on the air. We usually do about 2 o'clock Central on 20, which is great, but more than likely on 20 meters, you and I will probably not be able to talk just because our signals will be going over each other's heads. So a nice thing about 40, it does allow a little bit more closer end stations, but we can still work 1,000 miles plus. But I've worked down to 150 miles as well. So very nice to work it this evening. It sounds really good in my receive. And I pulled your page up there. It's kind of where I saw the QTH. And I see a little picture of a ham shack you've got set up there as well, Roger.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's the shack so far. We just added a Kenwood PM D700 to it, and we just got some QSL cards printed. So if you send QSL cards, I'll send you one as well.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're in the process of getting some made. We've ran out. I didn't realize, at this point how people were sending. And especially since I started doing my channel here about 12 weeks ago. So we're in the process of getting stuff reprinted. So I have nothing to send you yet, but I certainly will, Roger.
Yeah, very good. I'll get one in the mail for you. What are you running down there right now?
We're running, the rig is a Yaesu FTDX10 that we've had, for about 6 weeks or so. And mic is excuse me, I'm sorry, I just lost it there. The Heil 781 is a microphone. We're just running a 40-meter dipole on the side of the tower, and we're running just about 750 watts out of an ACOM 1000 amplifier. Go ahead.
Okay, QSL on the 750 watts. Wow, you really got a booming signal there. As you can see in the picture, we're running a Kenwood TS2000, barefoot, 100 watts, and we're actually going through a homemade fan dipole. That's an 83 6-meter fan dipole that we just put that up about a month ago now. Over.
Those are always the best kind. I don't think I've talked to anybody yet who's running a fan dipole they didn't make, and they all sound quite well. I know my limitations. I've tried my stint at making antennas and then have not done well. So I leave it to the professionals. At least I know I won't blow anything up there. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good. I'm really happy with it. In fact, right now at 7 megahertz, 202 kilohertz, we're actually resonance right there. So we're not even doing any sort of tuning on it at all. That's just the antenna doing its job. How is my audio right now? I've been playing around with my speech settings and compression and whatnot. How are we sounding? Over.
Yeah, it sounds really good in my receive. Again, if I can get away from some of the noise and the static crashes, you'd be probably be able to tell you a little bit better. But it sounds good. It's very audible. It's clear. You can make adjustments to the bottom, to the top, and maybe get some more fidelity. But Kenwood has a special audio sound anyway, even with their stock microphones. I do hear a little bit of what I would call reverb in it, but nothing that's extreme. Again, here's a plug for you. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the playback on my live stream. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. What is the live stream, if I could ask? And actually, with the comment on the reverb, I don't know how much of that is the radio or the room that I'm in. This QTH is relatively new. I've only been here for the last, at this house, for about the last year and a couple months. We moved in January of 2020. So actually, the upstairs bedroom that I got this radio set up in, there's really not much else in the room. So there is a little bit of an echo, a little bit of a reverb sound just in general in the room. But yeah, what's the link to the live stream? Over.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would guess that some of the noise or the reverb is the room, and that would depend on how close or how far away you are to the microphone. And you can get to the channel one of two ways. You can go to my QRZ page. I have a link. You can click on that, or you can go to YouTube and type in my call sign, K0RWB, red, white, and blue. And then you would look for the video with today's date, or right now it'll say live. But if you wanted to go back and listen to it later, Matt, I would probably fast forward to about 1 hour 26, 1 hour 27. That would probably get you pretty close to where we started there, Roger.
Okay, yeah, Roger that. Sounds good. You mentioned a lot of static crashes on your signal. I am not getting those on my end. That must be your location there in the Midwest. You've probably got a lot of storms happening around you. We've had a pretty drizzly day throughout the day and yesterday evening, but no storms, not recently at least. And I don't think there's any in the forecast here, but I'm sure there's something going on between you and I, or at least around your area there.
Yeah, we've had some unsettled weather the last couple of days. It's been off and on. We had a really nice day yesterday, and then Saturday was a little up and down. Friday was that way. We've dropped down about 15 degrees from yesterday, and there are storms in the area, and of course 40 meters picks it up, 80 is even worse, 160 and so forth. It's not bad. It's mostly here on my end. And it was a lot worse an hour or so ago, so things are starting to move away from us, so it's getting a little bit quieter. It hasn't been unreasonable, but we can hear them out there from time to time, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Very good. So what is your general interest in ham radio? Are you more of an HS guy, VHF, or SOTA? What really does it for you?
Hey, if I can get in front of the microphone and start talking, that's where I'm the happiest. I'm strictly a phone guy. We get in front of the mic and we try to make contacts, and we'd love to have QSOs. We're not a big fan of 5.9 QRZ. We do a few contests from time to time, and that's appropriate. But when I started the channel, the live stream, I want to be able to give everybody equal time, and not cut people off and move on. I want to make sure I want to respect their time. They respect ours. I think it works out well. We've been very successful so far, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I hear you. I myself am a bit into the portable operation. I haven't moved too far in that direction, but we've been working on a portable setup here. We've got a Kenwood THD-72 that we like to take out with us into the backcountry a lot, and we've got a roll-up J-pole for that, as well as an Arrow 2 Yagi that does really well for satellite operations, and especially when we can get a little bit of elevation, it really gets our signal out there. In fact, here where we are in the Keweenaw, if I take a hike up north to some of the small peaks that we have around here, I can point that thing to the west, and I can work stations simplex into Minnesota, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, we're working on getting like a soda, the portable setup going. We've got a Yaesu FT891, and we're working on putting together a lithium iron phosphorus battery for that with a solar panel to charge it while we're out and about. So looking forward to get that stuff going. That and antenna building. I have quite a bit of fun putting different antennas together. Haven't built too many so far. The fan dipole is certainly the most impressive one that I can brag about. But other than that, I am not big onto the digital or the data type stuff. I think HF phone so far has been the most fun for me. Over.
Yeah, that's great, and you'll have a lot of fun putting the portable work. You can do just about anything you want with it in different locations and so forth. We do that from time to time, and we'll be doing a little bit more as the weather gets warmer. And we'll be doing portable work and live streaming at the same time. So that's a challenge that we're trying to get put together logistically. We did it back in February, so I know it does work. So we're looking at doing that as well. So it should be fun. Hey, thanks for giving us a call. We've just got a few more minutes for a couple more calls. We've got to shut it down at the top of the hour, Matt. But thanks for giving us a call in the Upper Peninsula there in Michigan. And congrats. It sounds like you're having a great time with the hobby. Glad to hear it. Nice to have new operators out here, and nice to work you for the first time. Enjoy the rest of your week. You be safe and be well. Look forward to working you again. Again, if you're interested in having more QSOs, you can go to the channel. You can subscribe and hit the little notification bell. That way you know when we're out here again, and we'll get a chance to work again, I hope. In the meantime, I'll save 7-3s for now. I'll do mine, and you can do yours. Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Bravo Lima, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Alrighty, sounds good, Randy. Great to make your acquaintance. Hope to work you further down the log. It's been a good conversation. Really enjoyed it. K0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo, 73 from Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Bravo Lima. Clear.
Okay, Matt, 7-3s. This is K0RWB, QRZ. We got time for a couple more calls. QRZ, any station, anywhere. Well, thank you guys for all being out there, guys and girls. I wish I could pull that out. I could make out one call here and there. We're going to try it again and see who's the brightest. K0RWB, QRZ.
Kilo Delta 6, India, Quebec, Kilo Delta 8, Oscar, Sugar, India.
I got an India, Quebec whiskey again.
Kilo Delta 6, India, Quebec whiskey.
I think I got it. Kilo Delta 6, India, Quebec, Yankee?
India, Quebec whiskey. Whiskey like you drink.
Okay, I got it that time. Boy, that's a bigger pile up than I ever anticipated. Gee, thanks for standing by, and thank you for giving us a call. The name here is Randy. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City. Go ahead.
Yeah, the handle here is Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. I'm just about 10 miles north of Denver, Colorado. We got a pretty good 5.9 signal coming in here tonight.
Okay, Mark. Looks like you're up in Thornton. Well, we spent 3 years in Aurora and 9 in Colorado Springs, so we're a front ranger as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. You got the QTH correct of Thornton, but most folks don't know Thornton. They all know Denver.
Oh, I know. It's no different than Highlands Ranch, or it's no different than Westminster. Now, people will know Golden because of Coors, but and Aurora, they always say Illinois or some other place. So I feel your pain, Roger.
Yep, Roger that. But it's good to hear your voice. We just working on a new antenna here and getting a lot of new signals coming in here. I have an SG230 tuner running a ladder line up to a terminated folded dipole, but it's not too high yet. It's only up about 20 feet.
Well, I'll tell you. Sorry, I missed that. You're 10 over into my receive, Mark, so it's working quite well. I've got your page pulled up and just taking a look through there. And you're my hero. You got a hex beam as well, Roger.
Yep, that's currently in progress too. The hex beam is just an amazing antenna. Currently currently only at 14 feet and DXing like crazy. It's a great antenna. I can't wait to get it up to its full height here soon. But my fabricator, he's been having lots of issues, and of course we're going to have pretty much rain and snow all this week. So gonna have to wait probably another week.
Hey, Roger. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what brand that you got of the hex there. Mine is from NA4RR, Roger Rockwell out of Pensacola, Florida. We've had ours since about 2012. And he suggested between 20 and 50 feet would be optimum. We're at 45 at the base plate. I will tell you this, it came in 2 boxes to get it set up. We had it on our back patio on a patio table that had the hole in the middle for your umbrella, so we had a 4-foot pole there. So as we were putting it together, we got so excited we hooked some coax up to it and hooked our radio onto it, and we called CQ, and our first contact was a UK 4 foot off the ground. Roger?
Yeah, Roger that. It was pretty amazing. We were dealing with the end-fed antenna before. We have a lot of QRM and noise in the area. My son and I got this up. My son is a ham. He's K0RWB. And so we've had a lot of issues with antennas, and we've gone to these, and they're working incredible. This hex beam is the one done by Leo, the Kilo India Oscar group. And like I said, they're just absolutely amazing. We'll have the bottom of our base at 34 feet.
Yeah, that'd be good. Usually about 10 feet and below, it also increases SWR. So if you're around that area, I'm sure you're probably already watching that. But they do go away when you get up past 20 feet. It's nice that they're resonant of all bands, of course, and I wouldn't trade mine for anything. I tell people all the time, Mark, if you can find me an antenna that works 6 through 20 for under $1,000, I'll buy it, but there isn't one out there. So, you know, it's certainly a poor man's beam. There are better with more gain and side rejection and so forth, but it does everything I want it to and then some, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I mean, my father, who lives in California, he's got a cubicle quad full band, and I always thought that was an amazing antenna and a great DX machine. And grandfather had several types of beams and whatnot, so I've ran a lot of antennas. But I tell you, you know, this hex beam combination with this ICOM 7300, I don't get any SWRs on my meter. I'm sitting here looking at my Daiwa right now. I got a 901 and just not even bouncing it. So it does absolutely fantastic all the way down to 6 meters.
Yeah, that's great. Are you running the stock mic with the 7300? Do you have something else on there?
Negative. I'm running the pair of Heil Pro headsets.
Oh, very nice. Well, good for you. Yeah, you know, the stock mic is actually pretty nice. Other than I'm not a fan of holding something in my hand like that. I've got to keep hands free because I'm on the keyboard and mouse and moving stuff around and so on and so forth. But they do quite nice, and the headsets work really well on the rigs. We have a 7300 as well. We bought end of January. It's down in Studio B, as they say, the alternate location. You know, they say about amateur radio, 2 is 1 and 1 is 0. So you got to have a backup, of course. And then we've got this radio here about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and that's what we're using up here in the primary shack there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I've actually, you know, I agree. The stock mic worked really well. I've also got a D104 that I refurbished. It works really well. Has great audio. But there's a lot of times in the morning I homeschool my kids here, and I need not to have the speaker going. It'll especially distract my ham son. Then sometimes he likes to work 80 meters late at night trying to get his friends over in California on 80 meters. So it's just good to have a pair of headsets around.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I've got a Heil Pro Micro headset that I use on portable. But here in the shack, I've got headphones on. The wife doesn't have to hear 2 parts of the conversation and so forth, and I can talk a little bit lower without having to turn the volume up and so forth. It just makes things a lot easier. And one thing I was just curious about, though, they're important. I guess you don't have any restrictions, so you can put the antenna up and not have any problems with the neighbors or anything?
Yeah, I'm not in a HOA, and there's no rules in the city because the FCC kind of took care of that part. As long as you aren't in a HOA, you're okay. So they didn't hassle me about the tower that I had up for the NFED. I doubt they will on this one. I told my wife when we get it up on the roof there that anybody that asked, we're just going to have to tell them that we were trying to talk to Jodie Foster's dad.
Well, you know, that might work. We used to have one and take it with us portable, and it would actually fold up like an umbrella, but we'd be in different campgrounds, and I had a 25-foot push-up next to the coach, and people would kind of stop and stare, and you'd try to tell them. So what we started doing is take 2 or 3 pairs of socks and throw them over the Dacron cord, and if anybody came by and asked, we just told them we were doing our laundry.
Hi, that's good. Yeah, we're actually going to, we've got another ATU SG230 that we're going to use for portable. We have a 7100 that we're going to use for camping, but we're going to use a 38-foot push-up pole there to run a wire antenna when we're up camping, so we won't have any issues with noise up there.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. That should work really well. We did an experiment years ago. We took a handheld. We happened to be on top of Pikes Peak, 14210 or whatever it is, and we ran simplex on 2 meters into Texas, which I thought was pretty impressive. Of course, you can see forever. And a nice benefit of living in the Springs, we're that close. You can get up and get out real quick, and we ran a 40-foot tower and when we lived in the Springs as well, and didn't have any problems in the neighborhood. We didn't have people kind of shake their head and keep driving down the road, but otherwise we had no issues other than that, Roger.
Yeah, well, we got a little, just a 29-foot toy hauler, and don't have really any toys to put in it, on the fact that I'm a cook and, got smokers and cooking tables and have a whole outdoor kitchen, but it also allows us to load up all kinds of things in a hurry and get it unloaded in a hurry, and it makes doing these things really easy. I got a solar panel to charge the batteries for the trailer and the radio and the whole bit. I'm kind of looking forward to some of our camping trips this year.
Yeah, that should be lots of fun. And hopefully this nonsense COVID and everything else will allow us to kind of get back and do that, so we don't have any more shutdowns or restrictions on camping, those kind of things. So, and Mark, I'm going to let you go. I've got to get going here. We wanted to shut it off the top of the hour because we've got some other things to do. But we do appreciate you giving us a call this evening. Sounds really good in my receive. Signal's been really solid at 5.9 plus. So you've got stuff dialed in for sure. And I have a feeling that we'll have many more QSOs. Again, I don't know if I told you, but we're live on YouTube. So if you're interested in listening to yourself on the air on the playback, you can either go to my QRZ page, click the link, or go to YouTube and type in my call sign in the search bar and look for today's video and go to about 142, 143 in, and you can listen to yourself on the air. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. It'd be interesting to be able to hear my own voice there. Let me make sure I have a copy on your call again. You give it to me again?
You betcha. It's Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo, red, white, and blue.
Kilowatt Zero, red, white, and blue. Got that as a copy one. Thanks for telling me about the YouTube. That'll be interesting to be able to listen to. So you have a fantastic night. Wish you 73s, and we'll talk again. KD6IQW.
Yeah, pleasure's all mine, Mark. Thank you for taking the time to stop in. And again, I enjoyed it very much. As I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of 5.9 QRZ. We like to be respectful of everybody's time, and certainly did enjoy yours. And I have a feeling that we're definitely going to work again. Like to work you hex to hex. Maybe we can get together sometime on 20 meters. I can get out to Colorado pretty easy that time, so it'll be fun. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe and be well, and enjoy the rest of your week. Kilo Delta 6, India, Quebec Whiskey, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 73s.
73s, Randy. KD6IQW, clear.
Roger. That's K0RWB, QRZ. We've got time for one call. K0RWB, QRZ, any station, anywhere.
Kilo Delta Zero, Radio Charlie.
Kilo Delta Zero, Radio Charlie. Leonard, how are you doing, my friend?
Good. You can call me Len. Located here in Broomfield, Colorado. It's about halfway between Denver and Boulder. And you have a good signal on here. A little better than 5.9 tonight. Nice signal.
Okay, Len. Well, the call was familiar. I thought we worked before, but I looked in my log and it doesn't show one. That's surprising. But yeah, thank you for Broomfield. We were just in Thornton, so it's like neighbor to neighbor there, Roger.
Oh yeah, that's just practically walking distance.
Yeah, that's probably why you guys weren't able to hear each other, I'm sure. But yeah, that's great. You know, he was telling me that nobody knows Thornton, so he says Denver. I said, no. You got Commerce City, you got Highlands Ranch, you got Aurora, you got Broomfield. So, you know, you have to know there's a lot of suburbs too, Roger.
Yep, exactly. Well, the Denver Boulder, the Denver Boulder area is just one huge metropolis now. So you don't even get into the country when you leave Denver and go to Boulder anymore.
Well, you know, we were out there. Well, we go out to several times a year, but usually down to the Springs. That's where we lived most of our time, was down in Colorado Springs. We spent 9 years down there. But we did have family in Fort Collins, and we did live in Aurora for 3 years. So we're the Front Range folks. And I did notice there on 36, you know, to get up to Boulder, it's just it's one housing complex after another. And I can remember, you know, it wasn't that long ago. It was never that way. I guess it's progress.
Yeah, it's disappointing at best. But I mean, I understand it, and you know, I can deal with it. But boy, I sure liked it better when there's a little bit of free space between everything. Where I live, just down the street was all cattle and coyotes, and now fortunately they turned it into a park instead of high-density residential. But so that was the best thing that could have happened out of all the possibilities. But I did like it better when it was a farm.
Yeah, I know the feeling as well. We moved into the Springs in I think in '92, and on the east side of town there was one major road, which was Powers, and then to the east of that was nothing but prairie. And yeah, not like that anymore. I guess it's progress. I mean, you gotta admit, everybody wants to move to Colorado. I didn't think they'd all do it at once. That's my thing, Roger.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Hey, I'm looking at your page, your QRZ page. That's a nice looking boat and a couple of nice looking bass you got there.
Yeah, a guy was passing by and he said, "Hey, can I take a picture of those fish?" Well, we do fish at little tournaments at this time of year, and we've been off the water for several years. And we when COVID hit, what a great way to social distance, to get on the water, and so that helped us quite a little bit. So I think those two were, I think they were taken last September. We were down at Lake Guntersville in Alabama, and we were able to snap a couple of pics of those. But yeah, it's been fun. And we do have some varied interests. This is one of the fun ones, of course, is the ham radio, and we've just been having a great time since we've been doing our live stream on YouTube, and it's really brought some new operators in. The young kids are really having fun of this because you know, they not only they get to listen on the air, but they can see what's going on the YouTube, and they get the connection that, you know, who's on the other end is actually on the live stream, and so are they. So it's been kind of cool as well. So maybe it's kind of bridging the gap a little bit there, Roger.
Yep, I think so. That's really how that goes. You know, without some good technology, kids that are used to technology just aren't going to join the hobby. You can't show them, you know, a heat kit, you know, HW16 and get them interested. They need to see. You know, something like you've got there. I'm not sure what radio you're running there. I'm looking at your live stream now, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm running a Flex 6400 here to a KPA 500. I call it my Flexicraft station, and then up to just a fairly low G5RV style wire, up maybe 25 feet. So I'd be interested to know what radio you're using. It has a very, very clean set of tracks on my waterfall. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that. You've been solid 10 over, So you know, doing really, really well. The rig here is one of the newer the Yaesu, the FTDX10 that we've had now for about 7 weeks, I think. And we paired it with a Heil PR 781 microphone that we have here sitting on the boom. If you've got the live stream, I'll give you a wave there. And yeah, it seemed to match up pretty well. I mean, we had to do some settings with the EQs in the rig, and we had a friend of ours in Knoxville, Tennessee, that was kind enough to give us his settings. He runs a Yaesu 101D, so these are 101 settings, but they just about share all the technology across the board, transmit and receive size, with a few little changes, but pretty much the same. We made one little small change on the mid-level EQ, and then we're letting the radio do the rest. There's no mixer or anything in between, and so what you hear is what you get there, Roger.
Oh, very good, very good. K0RWB, red, white, and blue. I like that. This is KD0RC. Yeah, very, very good, Randy. That's just nice to see such a clean signal. I see so many signals that just blast all over the band, but nowadays with these SDRs and other rigs that have a good band adapter on them, you really can't get away with that as much anymore as you used to. So it's really nice to see a nice, narrow, clean signal. It's good, and the audio just sounds great. To me, it's just like we're sitting in the same room. You've been peaking at about 10 over, sometimes 20. Just a really nice signal and real pleasant to listen to. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, we always try to be a good steward of amateur radio, and so we try to be cognizant about, you know, how we're transmitting. You know, a lot of times propagation can take your signal and your audio and just do some wacky things to it. So to make sure we didn't get too crazy, we've got our setup at 200 to 2800. So we kind of keep it. It's not narrow per se, but I can go up to 50 to 2050. But I don't think that's a good idea. I just think that's the wrong way of working things. So we try to be cognizant of that and make sure that we operate as clean as possible without trying to overdrive things. I'm only doing about 750 or so on peaks right now with the amplifier, and I don't. If I got on top of the microphone, you can see how much difference it would sound. So again, we just try to stay at a normal tone and let the radio and the microphone work together. Roger.
Oh, very good. Excellent. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned your transmit bandwidth. I have mine set to 200 to 2800. So same mentality, I think. Great minds think alike. Go ahead.
Well, I'd rather be safe than sorry. There has been occasions on 20 meters when I first started doing the live stream. You know, I try to find an open spot, not to get in anybody's way. Nobody owns the frequency. I don't own any of the frequency. I'm just trying to find a spot and transmit and then make a few contacts. And I'd have people say, "Oh, you're 4 wide," or you're bleeding 5 kc down and that kind of stuff. You know, and it kind of bothers you actually because you don't really know. And the only thing you can do is control what's in the rig. And propagation, again, I think can do a lot of crazy things to your signal in most cases. So those are kind of things that like I said, I always try to be aware of. And, that can get out of hand really quick if you're driving it too hard or too much compression or too much processing and that kind of thing. And I would rather err on the low side than be on the high side.
Yep, totally understand and totally agree. That's kind of why I brought mine in a little bit. It's like, geez, we're all crowded enough on the bands. My intelligibility doesn't get better by running EFSB. I noticed there's a couple signals just above us that are they're wide, and I don't mean splattering, but just that they're using a lot of bandwidth because they're set that way. They're otherwise clean. And then down below us are some that are looking just like yours and mine, nice and straight and narrow. So it's actually a pretty good group on this evening. Some Sundays when I operate on the FlexNet on Sunday afternoons, we get people that make it hard to hear on our frequency that are probably 10 kc below us. Just just taking up the whole band with noise and junk. So, yep, it's a responsibility we all have, and I appreciate that you appreciate that.
Well, again, you're not going to be, at some point, people are just going to stop returning to your call. And that's not what I'm trying to do. Again, we just started this live stream, about 12 weeks ago, and we have a nice group of folks that follow us on the chat who also follow us on the live stream. And I don't want to offend anybody or lose anybody. So again, we want to have a clear signal as much as possible. And I think all in all, we've been very successful. I will say this, generally speaking, if I hear you, I can work you. So, my Elmer in the beginning told me that your antenna should be 90% of your station and 10% should be everything else. And there's a lot to be said about that. So, and again, this is like a puzzle. It's the antenna, then it's a radio, then maybe it's a different antenna that does this and so forth. And the last part of the puzzle is power, is amplification. And that's kind of how we worked our station to where we're at today. Of course, I've said it earlier tonight, and I say it all the time, in ham radio, 2 is 1 and 1 is 0. So you have to have duplicates there too, Roger.
Yep, exactly. Well, it's funny you talk about that. This is my very first amplifier, the KT8500. I just bought it about a year ago, and I've been a ham since 1970, and this is my very first amplifier. So there you go. But in retirement, I decided I was going to get myself a better radio and get an amplifier. So I chose this particular amplifier because it'll run off of 120 volts, and that means I can use it out camping. It's also physically small enough to easily take aboard the camper with me. So if you look at my Stuart Z page, you'll see how I set up my camper with it. And I don't run it that way too often, but I did some experiments with it, and it works better than I thought. So I have enjoyed having the amp, but it is probably not the most important component of my station, that's for sure.
Oh, I definitely understand that, K0RWB. My amplifier is an ACOM 1000, so it'll do about 1200. It's also wired for 110. People don't believe that it'll work that well, but first off, I don't need to run it at 1200 when I can run it at 7 and or 750 if I need to, and that's really about as far as it goes. The other amplifier is an old Tentec Hercules 2 solid state that will work on 12 volt, as it'll also work on 110. So we take 2 marine batteries in series, and we do portable work with that. We have a third marine battery that runs the wireless router, that runs the radio, and it runs the laptop, and we can live stream portable just about anywhere, Roger.
Oh, very cool. That's neat. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to try some portable operations, but remote this coming weekend. A friend of mine bought a camper, and we're going to give it its maiden voyage just at a little campground close. Not the kind of camping we normally do. We don't normally camp where there's any kind of hookups or anything. But I'm going to bring just the laptop and see if I can't use Wi-Fi or my phone as a hotspot to remote into my station, and we'll give that a shot this weekend. I haven't done too much of that, a little bit. Normally we're out in the middle of the wild where there's no cell phone or anything, and so that's not even an option, generally speaking. But this weekend, while we're helping get his camper underway, we'll try that. So that'll be another interesting way to run. I also do a couple of big marine batteries in my camper, and I just put my second 100-watt solar panel up there. So operating at 100 watts when I have the rig in there ought to be no problem, and then I'll just need to run the generator when I run the amplifier. So I'm on the fence right now with field day this year whether I'm going to try to do it all solar or go ahead and run the generator and use the amplifier. I may just do it all solar this year and see how that works. I hate running the generator too much in a crowded campground. So we'll have to see. I'll make my decision in the next couple of weeks on that. But that's kind of where I am with all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had those same thoughts, and what we do is we can run the two marine batteries on the amplifier probably for a good 5 to 6 hours. Or it's 500 watts, 550 watts, and then we'll put them on charge that night, so we're not causing any noise and so forth, which works pretty well. And the other battery that's running the radio and the router draws very little. So we don't worry about. So we can run a whole weekend with that particular battery. But I usually go to 5 or 6 hours running 500 watts on the amplifier. I mean, that's hitting it pretty hard all the time. So by running two of them, it certainly draws it down nice and slow. So it does what it does. And when our portable work, I did see your picture, of course, on your antenna setup on the back of on your trailer. We use an MP1 made by Super Antenna. It's a manual screwdriver. We put it on a 4-foot tripod. The big thing is ground radials. We have ground radials cut for each specific band. That makes all the world of difference. So from the base of the tip of the antenna, it's maybe 10 feet, and we've got it set up now out in the back. That's hooked up to the radio in Studio B, and we were doing some comparisons today, and we ended up making a video today because we've had some people ask us about the antenna. And the nice thing is it folds down to about 12 inches or 1 foot. Put it in your backpack and off you go. You can set it up in about 5 minutes. So that's what we take portable. And we did some on the air contacts with it and got some feedback. It was pretty interesting. So again, if you get a chance, you can go to my channel and check out the video. It's only about 8 minutes long, but we had a lot of fun putting it together, and it's amazing. The response you can get on the air with just a little antenna like that, Roger.
Okay, very good. And this is K0RWB. Oh, that sounds great, Randy. I will definitely look at that. I have a screwdriver sitting here on my shack floor that I took off my truck once I went to a fifth wheel. I could no longer use my goofy arrangement that I had on my pickup truck. And I just haven't been mobile since then. And I just, at this point, I tow the trailer so much, I don't really prefer to operate the radio while I'm towing something. I often tow the trailer and the boat behind it. So double towing with ham radio, I don't think is necessarily the greatest idea. So I don't do that. But I do have the screwdriver, and I should really look at making that part of my antenna arsenal for when I'm out in the woods, especially if I don't have room to put a long wire. I mean, not long wire, but a doublet up there. So I will definitely give your video a look at. Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's all that is a manual screwdriver. And so you can just slide the loading coil up and down, but your screwdriver would work the same way, and just off of a small 12-volt battery, for the screwdriver to go to whatever band you went and then lock it down. And I'll bet you money, even on a short little tripod with at least 4 ground radials for say cut for 20 or 17, I bet that thing would perform crazy.
Yeah, I bet it would. I haven't run any kind of vertical from the camper ever, and this will be my chance to do that. Verticals have some advantages, especially when you're out in a quiet location like the woods. So that's a great idea, Randy.
Yeah, when I was doing the national parks on the air program in 2016, I took 2 antennas with me, and I'd go to the different parks. I did all of Missouri, all of Kansas, Arkansas, Iowa, almost half of Colorado. And on 20 meters, I used this little MP1, and on 40, I had a QRP antenna because I was only running barefoot, and I had a 20-foot crappie pole that would extend, telescope up, of course, and then I made a bracket that I could put 3 ropes on to the tripod configuration to hold it in the air, and I made a sloper out of it, locked it down on the ground, and I had a switch box. So I could work 20, and when 20 died, I could just switch over to 40 and keep going that way. And of course, most of these national parks had all kinds of space. So it was a great little setup, but it was just amazing. And of course, the MP1 will work 10 through 40, and you can buy the extender, and you can even work 80 on it. But I think your ground radios will be in your neighbor's yard. They're that long. But I've got it set up to work 10 through 40, and it does just a crazy job. And I shake my head every time I use it because it works so well. It picks up a ground noise, but otherwise, I'm just amazed it works that well. And again, I can throw it in my backpack, take a LiPo battery with my radio, and I'm off in the backwoods, and that's how I used to use it there, Roger.
Oh, very good. That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to look at that here this coming week and see if I don't have a good way to do that. For me, and I like your comment about the radials. I ran that screwdriver for many years off the back of a 3/4 ton pickup truck, and that really made that had enough body mass to it, just sheet metal on the truck that it worked pretty well. But boy, you put a real tuned radio down, anything even close to a quarter wave radio on the ground, and I would guess you don't even need many of them. One per band will probably do it. Snaked out around your campground, and I bet you that would work just great. So I'm going to drag this thing out, see if I can tune it up and make it work. I did build a bracket on the back of my camper for that mast, that fiberglass mast, and there's no reason that wouldn't work perfectly to hold the screwdriver antenna at the top.
Yeah, that's exactly right, K0RWB. The biggest thing I can tell you is a single radio, and that's what I did in my video. I actually recorded it. I took, and all I use for radios is speaker wire. And I've got two clips that sit on the base of where you screw the antenna into, the little base plate. And I took, and I I had one go out to the east and one goes to the south, and I did an SWR reading, about 1.5 on 20 meters. Then I added the second one, and I fanned them all out. So now I said I went from 2, I went from 4, and then I went from 4, I went to 8. So I spread them all out. So I had 8 ground radios on the ground, and I dropped down to 1.21. So I dropped the SWRs significantly from 1.5 to 1.21. And also that means I've got more energy going out. I went to, again, made me more contacts. And one of my contacts was Hawaii. Now, the antenna didn't do as much as propagation did, but I was still running 100 watts, and I made a contact in Hawaii, and I've got it recorded so I could verify that later on in case somebody, oh, you didn't do that. I've got it recorded. So I know the ground radios make the big difference because, and again, it's throwing the signal back out instead of getting absorbed in the ground.
Oh, very good. Yep. Well, the efficiency of the vertical goes up phenomenally when you get some good tuned radios going. So, yeah, that's great information too. Wire's cheap, and if you don't have to string it in trees and do all that kind of complication, if you're just laying it on the ground, boy, that's just a no-brainer setup. I'm always looking for an easy setup because, a lot of times when we're up camping, ham radio is not the primary objective. It's just something to do along with it. We're fishing or hiking or doing other fun things, and I don't want ham radio to overtake. I'm not quite fair to my wife. So, I try not to make that the prime focus unless I'm out with my buddies or something like that. So I'll have to really look at that because it sounds like you had a real good setup there. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. If you use it in a confined area, like a campground or so forth, and you can't, I think the radios for 20 meters are around 17 foot, something around there. But if you get tight on space, you can go out about halfway, and then turn them into an L. But do them all that way. Turn them all facing as in an L, so you don't have that big a footprint. Like you don't want to go in your neighbor's campsite because you're sitting right there, and it still works the same. Or you can fold them back on themselves, and they'll still work the same, kind of like a full wave versus a half wave. It's just amazing what this little antenna can do. again, and with the right radials and the configuration, it just works phenomenally. And that's kind of some of the stuff that I put together when I did this video that we posted earlier today, because I had a lot of people ask me about how well the antenna works and so forth. And it's kind of, kind of behind the scenes antenna that I stumbled across years ago, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's so simple to use and it's so easy to set up.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, good. Well, I'm going to definitely check that. That's just great. And I'm kind of looking forward to when we're done with the conversation here, listen to my own signal on your channel. I do that on Sunday mornings. They run a similar live feed on YouTube, and that gives me a real chance to look at my signal, look at the quality of it, and listen to the quality of it, and it's really good. So you're a wealth of good information today, Randy. Go ahead.
I just do a little part. That's all it is. Just do a little part. And when I was telling you earlier about how this kind of attracts the younger generation, the younger kids, is I have a video capture card that goes in the back of my computer, so I'm able to broadcast my radio screen exactly how it looks onto the YouTube channel. So you get to see the signal report, you get to see what your oscilloscope looks like, what your audio spectrum looks like, and kids are visual. And you just fall, it go crazy. So when I watch the video or the audio spectrum on your signal, you're not even close to 3KC. You are right at 2800, and that's pretty cool to watch that. And if it was just on the air and there was a a picture of this or that in your audio, okay, fine, it's no big deal. But again, I think just a little added segment is to be able to display what my radio display looks like. It seems to help people as well, Roger.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I've got a guy who lives kind of kitty corner to me off the back of my property, and he's working on getting his ticket. He's got 4 really little kids. A couple of them are twins, so he's just got a handful right now. So it doesn't surprise me that he's not making fast progress on that, but he is working on that, and I'm kind of looking forward to showing him how this all works when he gets more interested in HF. At the moment, he's interested in EHF, but you're absolutely right. You show him the visual, you show him the pan adapter, and how you can look at somebody's signal and get a sense of your own signal quality and do that sort of thing, and all of a sudden the visual will just make all the difference to somebody in that age range. He's in his probably mid-30s somewhere, so he's at that age where he's got the wherewithal to get a license and really enjoy it. But young enough to really be influenced by the current technology, and will really require the current technology to maintain an interest. Go ahead.
Yeah, it really is. When I was on, I did a stream last Wednesday here on 40 meters, excuse me, about the same time, and it was a bigger pileup than I ever anticipated. And I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not good at pileups. I do the best I can. I pull out calls, try to be respectful of everybody's time and so on and so forth. And I pulled this call out, and I could tell it was a really higher voice. Anyway, he gives me this tired call, and it comes up to an operator in Huffman, Texas. Well, come to find out, he's 9 years old. He's working under his dad's call, but he has his own technician's license, and he's working to get his general this summer. And we talked for the longest time. Very well spoken, very well-mannered child. Knew the phonetic alphabet just terrific. Some of us really don't, but he knew it just verbatim and had a great conversation with him. He really did impress me. I mean, that's the future of the hobby. And I got an email. I emailed him, thank you so much for the contact last night. And his father emailed me back, and he says, Owen has watched it several times and has shown his friends, the QSO between you and so forth. And, if that sparks, if that gives you a little bit of spark in someone and maybe it passes it on, and maybe you had a hand in it, I can sleep well at night. Roger?
Yeah, very good, very good. taken a real drop. I think we hit that time of night. Let me send it back one more time.
Yeah, I can see that as well, Lynn. Hey, listen, I need to shut it down anyway, so I'm going to make you the last one tonight. I should have been gone a half hour ago, but I hate to leave when it's a good QSO. You know, it's a little longer, but that's okay. But anyway, go to the channel and give a look and a listen and see what you think. If you're interested and want to do it again sometime, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell. That'll tell you when I'm live again. And hopefully I'll get a chance to work you. I did enjoy it very much. I appreciate you giving us the call. It means a lot. And thank you for checking out the live stream as well. Be safe and be well. Have a great week coming up. And I look forward to working you again. Kilo Delta Zero, Romeo Charlie, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3's Len. Hey, Len, 7-3's, K0RWB, rain in Kansas City will be cleared in QRT.